Arvind P.Datar, Senior Advocate, to kindly give his lecture.
Good afternoon, Honorable Justice Sikri, Mr. Khanna, Mr. Yadav, Mr. Sharma, my colleague Madhavi Divan, and my dear friends who have stayed on well beyond 2 o'clock. I will not take much time. On a miscellaneous day to listen to law beyond 2:20 is really violation of Article 21. Incidentally, I'll just make, with the permission of Justice Sikri, I'll just mention one more thing. We had a unique privilege of Mr. K.K. Venugopal being present here. I would just like to tell the younger members of the audience that if you see Minerva Mills, AR 80 Supreme Court, page 1789, Mr. K.K. Venugopal was the Additional Solicitor General who argued the case. And Mr. Palkhiwala appeared for the petitioner. And the other interesting information is Mr. Palkhiwala's junior in Minerva Mills was none other than Justice Rohinton Nariman. So this is the part. Now, coming to this economic perspective, you see, as far as, I'm just going to be brief, just about 10 minutes. In terms of lawmaking, you have lawmaking at the legislative level, at the executive level, and at the judiciary. At the executive level, very briefly, till the 60s, you had a completely bipolar world. You had one set of countries following the capitalist doctrine laid down by Adam Smith and so on. You had the communist countries following the Karl Marx doctrine. Over the years, all those things diluted. And today we have what to call the neoclassical theory, which is an amalgam of right wing and left wing. Your right wing represented the followers of Adam Smith down to Milton Friedman. And on the left wing, you have people like Joseph Stiglitz. And a combination of those is the middle order of the country. But I'm not concerned with that. I'm also not talking of the executive, the regulators. If you take every regulated industry, SEBI, electricity, TRAI, all these cases, economics plays a very, very important factor. But due to shortage of time, I'm just going to confine myself to one important judgment delivered by Justice Sikri in 2017, that is Shiv Shakti Sugars versus Renuka Sugars, where the Supreme Court laid down and they used the word bounden duty. They said it's the bounden duty of the courts to consider the economic impact and the economic analysis of a particular judgment. This is particularly important in India because you have Article 142, you have Article 226, where the High Courts and the Supreme Court can simply stop an industry at the interlocutory stage or at the final stage. Now, the consequences of this can be quite horrendous. Justice Sikri mentioned the liquor ban, with which I was concerned. I was appearing for all the liquor people from Tamil Nadu. Now, on the 30th of April, by straight one order, all liquor shops on highways throughout India were shut by one single order. Look at the consequence. Well-intentioned order. The matter came from Punjab. They said in Punjab, for every 100 kilometers, there are some 125 liquor shops. And therefore, as Justice Sikri pointed out, was there a causal link between highway liquor shops and accidents? According to us, the statistics showed that only 6.81% of the accidents were due to this. But the Supreme Court felt otherwise. We respect that. But look at the economic consequences. According to Government of India statistics, by that particular decision, 26,800 shops all over India on the highways were shut. 1 lakh people lost jobs directly. The loss of excise revenue was simply staggering. Now, following Justice Sikri's judgment, the court could have had an economic analysis. How much of liquor shops, how many are there on the highways? What is the quantum sold? Why are we banning hotels and bars situated in the cities? Because in many cities, the main roads are declared as state highways. So all hotels next to that was closed. In Madras, for example, from where I come, except Taj Coromandel, all 5-star hotels were closed, and Taj was not shut because it was 620 meters from the highway and that escaped. And just one instance at 2 o'clock, I thought I'd just give an interesting example of how people get over the liquor ban. A person went to Pune to a 5-star hotel and went to the bar on the ground floor and asked for a drink in the evening. They said, we can't serve you liquor on the ground floor. But this is a 5-star hotel by one of the reputed companies. But they said, if you go to the 7th floor, there's an Indian restaurant, we serve liquor there. So I asked him, how do you do this? So he said, if you take 500 meters and count the steps, we cross 500 meters on the 7th floor. And gentlemen, this story is true because I was that guest. Now, so I felt that economic analysis they could have done. As far as diesel